a lot of people are talking about artificial intelligence and this digital transformation within the sales function, which naturally leads to a question around, is the sales function going away? And yes, technology is beginning to take a much different role within the sales function, not so much more of a role, but a different one. And what that forces us all to do is really look at the value that we add to the sales process with our customers and our everyday interactions. And I don't believe that salespeople are going away because of artificial intelligence, but I do believe that salespeople are required to adjust their approaches to accommodate transactional selling attitudes and approaches that will most likely be assumed by artificial intelligence and that digital transformation. But what technology is also bringing salespeople and sales professionals is new insights into the way they do their jobs, such as the behaviors that are getting optimal results, the types of quantitative and qualitative behaviors that, when executed day to day, help salespeople build that one-to-one relationship with their clients and increase their overall effectiveness. And the question they should be asking themselves is, how do I make myself indispensable? How do I make myself somebody who can't possibly be taken over by artificial intelligence or some digital process? What customers are not interested in is the pro forma script-driven cold call that many reps still do, as evidenced by my voicemail box each and every day. What they are appreciative of is a thoughtful, well-planned, constructive conversation that exhibits not only a little bit of knowledge and expertise, but also a genuine curiosity about the client and what motivates them and what matters to them, and then possibly finding a way to align your services and products to what matters most to them. And technology and that digital transformation has empowered salespeople to really understand their prospects before they pick up that phone about not only where they work and how long they've been there and their job title, but also their motivations, their interests, their company's overall strategy, and their quarterly or yearly goals. But what I find a little bit less obvious, and really the key to really effective, authentic salesmanship, comes in the old books around persuasion. Things like Neil Vincent Pearl and some of the things that he has done around not selling as much as just general human interactions, motivations, the way they think. Also, Dale Carnegie, I know that it's at this point cliche and everybody at some point has read How to Win Friends and Influence People, but I tell you, there is no book that I go back to more. I learned that early on in my career with one of the sales reps who was my mentor in a prior world, and it was amazing how automatic and casual every interaction seemed with his customers. And it wasn't as if he just fell out of bed and started doing this stuff. There was a science behind it. There was calculation behind it. And there was a tremendous amount of preparation behind it. Customers want candor, and they appreciate candor. And if you're able to give that to them, and it goes both ways, again, that's the glue that holds these relationships together for the long term. And it's the best way to separate yourself and your company from the hundreds and hundreds of companies out there that are trying to do the same thing. We had one sale that was quite recent that was incredibly complicated. It was the largest sale in the company's history, and it emerged out of nowhere. The sales cycle was incredibly compressed, and it was very high pressure. We were able to get exposure to a lot of very high-level people at this company, Fortune 500 firm, very quickly, and it was established, the whole relationship, as quick as it started, it was established on the premise of, we have a real problem to solve, we don't want to waste time, so let's be as direct as possible. And that wasn't just them to us, but it was us to them as well. So that's the foot that we started on, and it was remarkable because with that spirit, we were able to make a tremendous amount of headway on an incredibly complicated deal with, I'd say, 3 or 4 different business groups within the span of, I would say, 120 days. And we were able to close, and we've actually almost finished implementing this client in record time. And it was the phrase I use would be frictionless. It was the most frictionless sales cycle that I've been part of, as well as one of the most consequential for the company and for us individually as well. You know, you have to be very critical of yourself. You have to always be worried about your state in your job, in your career. And in many ways, early on in your life, you can never feel like anything is stable. So that insecurity in self-assessment and asking yourself every day, what happens if I get fired? Or what happens if I leave? What happens to this company? If the answer in your gut is, you know what, they'll be just fine, it means you should probably step your game up. If the answer is, you know what, I've done my best of luck to the company, but I think they'll struggle, that means you're headed in the right direction. So you always want to be challenging yourself to ask yourself, why should this company keep me another day? Why should this company see value in me? What am I doing that nobody else can do? And if the answer is nothing, then you got to reach a little bit further. Always volunteering to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Seek them out. But the best, that inner game and that confidence that you want to cultivate when you're younger comes entirely from putting yourself in uncomfortable positions. And that can mean volunteering for new projects that you're not really sure if you'll be successful for, or making a leap from one company to the next or one industry to the next without a safety net, without really knowing how it's going to end up. But you're confident that you'll figure it out and you'll learn a lot in the process. Learn new things. Get better every day is a mantra we use here at Griffin. Everybody, we ask our customers to do that, we ask ourselves to do that, and we ask all of our colleagues to just continuously try to get better. And professionally, the best thing you can do to make yourself indispensable is by always being curious, always finding things to learn, always looking for ways to keep your profession and career and day-to-day interesting and engaging, because there's such a whole world out there you can learn in the sales discipline across every facet of life. And the better you get at the true salesmanship, guess what? The better you get at life, and the better you get with your personal relationships and your relationship with your kids, because these principles are universal and they don't live exclusively in the sales silo. So those are my big three. Be self-critical and honest with yourself and where you are and what you need to do. Always be looking for opportunities to take yourself out of your comfort zone, and always be curious and never stop learning and helping yourself get better and better.